So the finishing touches of your face, you've now done base, contouring, highlighting, setting, eyes, lips, eyebrows, all of that. And now you're ready to do some finishing touches. Basically, you're done, which is very nice, and I hope you've learned everything, and I hope you really kind of understood the theory behind doing a face and what goes into it. It's not just as simple as the product and how to wear it, but rather what the different things about wearing that product can do to a face. So now there's the finishing touches, which are also kind of very important, especially this is more so for people who do drag. Beauty marks are the first thing I'll talk about. Beauty marks are a thing that you can add to your face just to kind of give it a nice eccentric little detail, but also I feel they function to throw off the asymmetry of a face, or throw off the symmetry. Whatever they do, they make your face look less symmetrical, which then distracts from perhaps how asymmetrical your face structure is, because everyone's face, for the most part, isn't symmetrical. So if you do things like this, it can then fool the person who's looking at you into thinking that your face structure is more symmetrical than it is. They just can't tell because of all these little details on it. That's my theory. That's also why I always wear side parted hair and I was, So the beauty marks is basically a lot of different beauty marks you can do, but I do all of them basically. There's the underlip one, which I see a lot of people do, which can sometimes look kind of witchy. I do it because I'm inspired by people like Bayonetta and CL, but also a lot of other people have this kind of Iggy Azalea, Dolly Parton. It's a popular lip thing. And then there's the typical supermodel lip one, which is above the lip. It's very, I think people think it looks French or something, but it looks very burlesque. It looks very, pin up. It looks very beauty mark. The Monroe, actually, I think that's where it came from. There's above the lip on the upper lip, but then there's also slightly onto the cheek. I feel like people can't decide where it is, so it kind of just floats around this whole area. So I like to do that one. And then there's also the Dita one, the one under the eye, it really balances out when you've got all this stuff happening above the eye. It really balances out just to throw something underneath there. I used to have a dermal piercing here that I don't anymore, and I really miss it because it was really cool. I obviously am not just satisfied with black dots as beauty marks, which you would use with liquid eyeliner for, but I also like to make them a little bit more interesting. So what I do is I get a purple sequin, and that's what this is. So it looks like a very prominent beauty mark. It looks very interesting, what is it? I'm inspired by the piercing I used to have, but I always use a black kind of gem, and I always stick that on my face right here. Before you could do that as well, when I was talking about highlighting, you can use a highlighter after you've done your whole face. So I wanted my highlight to be more intense. So what I did was I just took a loose glitter, and I just put that on top of the highlight. You can also get glitter gels, which is what I was using on my eyes as well. For them inner corner bits that you really want to stick out and pop, you can put glitter on them, and that'll make them just catch the light even more and look even more dazzling and amazing. And then lastly, there's embellishments you can add to your face, so that's things like sequins and gems and stuff. Lashes, I guess, that counts. Say one thing that's really popular in drag these days is the whole 60s look with the lashes, so very sparse eyelashes. You don't want your big thick eyelashes to be just a sheet of black, because then you won't be able to see when your eyes are open all of the makeup you've got on. So I feel if you have more sparse hairs, not only does it look realistic, but it also means you can see through them, and it means you can still kind of see the makeup even when your eyes are open. Maybe that's one thing about it, but it's also really big to have them on the lower lashes as well. So to have individual lower lashes, and then especially if you have gems in between them, or glitter or something, which is really popular. But to be fair, it does look really good, and it really opens your eye up and just makes the eye look so interesting. And that is the thing you could also do. That's about it for finishing touches. I know this has been a short episode, but next episode I'm going to be talking about hair, and then I'm also going to be talking about body and everything, so please stay tuned. And this was just a kind of summarising episode to talk about finishing the face. So hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed the series so far. Let me know what you think, and thanks for watching.